What's going on, guys? We're going to go over a meta squad builder for you today. We've got a Premier League starter team. We're going to go into Premier League. We've got only meta players in. We're still going to prioritize pace because that's the most important thing. And don't forget, join my Patreon series. We're also uploading all the squad builders here. So you're only going to see one of them today. You're going to see a cheap one, but we've got the progressive one. We've got the mid-tier and we've got the high team Premier League squad builders. And we're going to have a squad builder for every nation. So we have Serie A cheap, mid-tier expensive, League F cheap tier, mid expensive, all the major leagues and some of the off leagues as well. Bundesliga, La Liga, Liga F, and Arcama all be down as well in the Patreon series if you want that full progressive list. But let's go back to the video. Okay, so for the goalkeeper, there is not that many. Okay, I've gone with one of my favorite player, Vicario. If Vicario is not available, there will be a cheaper cards available instead. There's a few other cheaper ones. For example, you can go with someone like just Lucas, or Nick Pope is always a good go-to. There's other cheaper ones if I would say he's not available. But to be honest, Vicario has always been one of my favorites. Not only is he tall, he has a bit of everything, and he has footwork. Always my favorite playstyle, especially if low drivens are going to be effective. I'd want some sort of way to defend against him, and that low driven playstyle is going to help me. So that's why I go a lot with footwork for goalkeepers. Don't forget, as you may know, I'm part of the EA Design Council. I played this game early, so I got a bit of an inclination of what's coming, but I know they've nerfed low drivens, but let's just say they're still effective. I have that defense mechanism. Now we're going to go for the defenders. Now, I talked about one of the players, Kusanov. I think he's exceptionally good as well. Jockey playstyle is what I'm really looking for here. Look, again, when I make these teams, I really want to make these teams so like anyone can use them. So although Anticipate was never meta last year. Like people keep thinking it was, but it was never meta. It was really about the Jockey playstyle plus. And it was really about the intercept or block, okay? Now, with the Jockey playstyle, they're going to be faster. So although his defense awareness is a bit lackluster, the Jockey playstyle will make it higher. He's got 90 sprint speed, so making a run in behind for through ball or first time through ball, he will be there to defend. Now, I'm probably, you know me, I'm probably still going to throw a shadow on him. But let's say you're thinking, you know what, Neil, that's unacceptable. I can't have that defending. That's fine. With the changes this year, there's a few other chemistry styles you can use. You can put a Sentinel on him, and you can get his defending to 85 as defensive awareness. That's still very good stats. So the Jockey playstyle will kind of help you for the jockeying movement, and that's why I think, honestly, I think up to like the Salibas and the Van de Vens, he's one of the best cards you can use. And alongside him in partnership, we've got someone else, and we've gone with Lacroix. Now, Lacroix is another very good card. It was always a very meta card we knew inside out. A slight buff this year. Jockey playstyle as well. You can see the recurring things. And then you can see 80 defense awareness, 93 sprint speed. A bit better than Kuzanov. Again, you can go with a shadow, or to be honest, you can even go with an anchor. If you want something a bit of everything, you can go with an anchor. He's got 96 sprint speed, 83 defense awareness. Or if you want the new animations, you can go with a sentinel and you put him on 89 defensive awareness. That's what I'm trying to say. Forget these other cards that everyone's talking about. Focus on what's important. The most important thing, like think about this as like, this is the main defender. These are the main stats that are going to help you. Everything else like passing, who cares if the defender has 70 passer when the game comes out? The job is to defend first, like goalkeeper. Just save the shot, then worry about everything else. Beggars can't be choosers when the game starts. And this when things get a bit tough. Now, Aina is probably the only decent right back, I would say, in the Premier League. He's got quick step. There's quite other options. We've got Mateus Cunha as well, but it's probably going to be quite expensive. But 87 sprint speed, 79 defense awareness. A better card than his stats look like. I think he would be underused, but the problem is because of lack of right backs, everyone's probably going to know who he is. But if you go with the Mateus Cunha, no, not Mateus Cunha, I meant Mateus Nunez, you can see another very good card, 74 defense awareness, slightly lower, but another card, but they can play centre mid. On the left-hand side, there's quite a few. We've gone with Udogi. There's also Kirkez as well. But another very good card, good defense runners, good physicality, decent short passing, and decent going forward. And of course, he has that height as well. Now, for the formation, we're probably going to go with the meta formation. You probably know what it is. Actually, have a guess. What formation do you think it is? It's going to be the one that we go with last year. We want to ideally get the best formations in. Now, this is where things get confused. Okay. There is literally no CDMs in the Premier League. I have been looking extensively. I was even looking at silver cards. I literally last night spent like a few hours on stream, off stream. I literally spent 10 hours studying like all these cards, okay? This is probably the best you can get. Now, 82 sprint speed, so you can make up for it. 80 short passing, 77 long passing. It's got the enforcer, press proven, aerial forward position header. Not that important. The agility and balance, it's not good. It's not good at all. I'm not going to pretend that he is, but the benefit he does have is he's 6'4". He's going to be an absolute tank in midfield. He's not going to be a dribbler. 78 defending awareness, good physicality. This is going to be more of a Sissoko. Think of like a tanky CDM. If you want to play another formation, there's other centre mids available, but to get a CDM that can play centre mid as well, let's say you want to convert into a 4-4-2, you need that availability. So that's why I've chosen a lot of these players specifically, because I know they can do a few other things. Another card that I didn't even know that existed until I saw in the database, so I don't follow Brighton, I apologize. But this guy, look, he's got technical power shot, which can be very effective as a box-to-box. He's actually got 85 shot power, 75 long shots, 74 sprint speed. I think he's a really good card. Think of it a box-to-box. You don't need a finishing stat because a box-to-box is rarely going to get inside the box and score. You may have that player as like a playmaker. That's different. But if you have him as a CDM, most times he's going to be taking a long shot, so that's the most important stats. 81 short passing and 80 long passing, I think is very, very good. And then let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit more. Yeah. Then we've got the physicality, which is decent. Defending is good. It's actually pretty decent. 82 stand tackling, 82 interceptions, 76 defense awareness. I like to think of this player like a Kante that can do a bit of shooting. And then, of course, doesn't have the pace that Kante has with the high defense awareness and has got a good dribbling. Don't forget, on the ball, he's going to be feeling very good because he is, well, remember, when I say feeling good, I don't mean liquid. When I say liquid dribbling, that means someone who's 5'2". But don't forget, this year they made taller players a bit more reasonable. As a centre mid, you're not going to be less dribbling inside the box, so you just need to be able to turn with the ball and make a pass, or turn and recycle the ball. We've got one tank. We got him next to him. I think 2 tanks is fine this year, if you're asking me personally speaking. That's what I got. Now, the cam, there is quite a lot of options, but I've gone with Clivert. Now, I'm going for cheap. If you look, most of the players are under 80 rated. I'm trying to go with like, okay, this team's gonna, one player's gonna cost 1 or 2k. I'm expecting a squad to cost about 15 to 30k. If it goes the way like how meta squads were back in the day, and some of these squads were 50k, it could be 50k. Time only tell. The market makes the prices. But this Clivert, really nice. I like him a lot. I actually really like him. 4-star, 4-star. I really like him because he's got good sprint speed. Now, what you can do is you can put a hunter on him, or buy him on a hunter. You can put a hawk, but I probably would go with a finisher. Bring his finishing up to 84, his attack positioning up, his shot powers. His long shots could be better. I won't lie. But you can put a hawk if you, let's say you're a long shot taker. So put a hawk, but passing is decent. I'm not saying it's amazing. Stamina, it's okay for a cam, and he's got really good dribbling. That's ideally the key things that you want. Everything else that you, so when you're at the early stage, this is something important. When you're at the early stages of the game, everyone makes this grand mistake is they focus on, oh, what play style? Let me go with someone who's got tiki-taka, who's got 50 pace, because it's early on in the game. You want the other way around. You want to focus on the player that's got the stats. Figure out your minimums. If you're part of the Patreon series, we've got a full video where we go through the stats, limit, what stats you should use, minimum stats for each position, everything like that. Then decide what play styles you want. Okay, and then you can see, but there isn't that many playstyles available. This year, there's hardly anyone with, like, for example, a tiki-taka playstyle plus a few players. So, so you're very much restricted on who you can choose. So make sure you choose the players the right way around, not the other way around that everyone else is doing. Now we're going to move over. So when we're in this position, we're going to go over to the wingers. So I've gone with Pedro Neto. I think Pedro Neto is one of my favorites that I'm probably going to be. Why is he not appearing? Hang on. So I was saying, Pedro Neto, the reason why I chose him, rapid quick step. You can see right now how this is becoming that meta team. We're really focusing on pace. He can play striker, left mid, right wing. So the idea is when you buy a starter team, you ideally want to try different formations out. The 4-2-1-3 is going to be a top 5 formation. I'm going to say it now, and a 4-4-2 and a 4-2-3-1 normally. There'll be like a few other formations, like the 4-4-1-1. That'll be a bit more skill based. But if you want to try these things out, you need players that can play multiple roles. This guy has everything that you'd want. If we go with just a summary, we can see there's 5'9", so he's going to feel good on the ball. He'll feel quite good at dribbling, and then he's got really good. Again, you go with the simple trick I told you. Put a finish on him. 84 finishing, 83 shot power, 80 attack positioning, 90 sprint speed. As a winger, he's got the passing. It's okay. Very good agility and balance, which is the most important for a winger. And then he's got the physicality. That's okay. I think for a starter card, this is a very good option. Because his base card, let's see, normally the masses, what they normally do is they look at a card and be like, oh, this guy looks bad. But because his in-game, he's got 76 shooting, because his base stats look pretty good, I will suspect the average mere mortal will think his price, will think he's a good player and his price will be much higher. That's why it's good to find those hidden stats. And what I mean by that is, let's say someone like Baleba, right? He's got decent stats. Okay, they're average. But let's say we go with someone like Onana. He looks like, 74 pace, but then you see 82 sprint speed. Or like, for example, you can see like when the penalties are very low, it brings the whole shooting stats down. So this is where the gems get found. So like, for example, like here, 70 should be there. Oh, it's bad. But then he's got decent long shots. His volleys and penalties are terrible. But you can see the same thing with free kick accuracy. He's bringing down his overall passing stats. So these are just some things to bear in mind. Same with his defending. His 67 heading accuracy is bringing down that whole defending stat. So the average person will be thinking, oh, he's okay. 79 defending. I could get better. And they're watching this video. It's a complete different situation. Then we go over to Kudus, which I think right now is probably going to be one of the most priciest players in it, or second most priciest. You'll see who's first. Another very good player, left wing striker, right mid. So you convert to that 4-4-2. You can put Clive on the left, put him up front. I think it's a very good card. 88 sprint speed. Again, we can go with the finisher here. And then we've got the agility and balance. And then we've got the physicality. And then we've got the short passing. Then for the striker, now, again, there isn't that many cheap options. I think, look, okay, this is what I'm thinking, okay, in my head, okay? We need a cheap striker. So who would be the obvious choice? We go to players. We look at the new Tottenham transfer. We have a look, okay, what can we do? So we go straight. Let me explain to you what the average person probably will do here. They would probably do it, but the thing is, I would want someone that's liquid on the ball. So realistically, you need someone low rated. Mateus Cunha is going to be too expensive. Iche Suslo Wizard is a good card. Now, I would recommend him. The only downside why I'm probably might consider leaving him is because of 74 composure. So if you can't get the card that I recommend, I think with a low driven and a rapid play style, I've always talked about Wizard multiple times. You should know about him already if you've been following my videos. But let's say you can't. I would say go with Chiesa. I think Chiesa is one of the better cards. Again, there's not that much choice. Kolo Muani's there, but he's going to be absolutely tall as hell. Do I want someone? I think he's 6'2", isn't he? Do I want someone who's 6'2" on the ball? But he's a good player. So this one will depend on your style. But me personally, I'm going with Chiesa. If Wissa's not available, Chiesa, I used him last year. I evolved him. I love this Chiesa card. 5'9", so he's going to be good at dribbling. He's got the finesse shot, rapid and quick step. You can play on the wing as well. Very versatile. You can see how many players got rapid and quick step. It took me quite long to find like a better one. I was like, you know what? I just can't find it in the end. But he's got the main key stats that I want. 80 composure, 80 finishing, 87 sprint speed, good passing, physicality is decent. These are the main stats that I want. I'm personally going to throw a hunter on him. You'll be thinking, what are you doing? I'm going to do that. If you've got precision shooting, you can get away with a lower finishing stat. I'll repeat that again. If you're using precision shooting, you can get away with a lower finishing stat. Now, precision shooting, think of it like a radius, okay? Now, this is not the best example and this is not entirely accurate, but think about if you have 50 shooting, that the ball can go in this radius. If you have 90 shooting, the ball can go in that radius. So where you aim is where the ball is going to go, but the radius spread can be decreased with the finishing stat. It's a bit more complicated than that, but let's just keep that as a simple example, okay? So if you have 83 finishing, it's still good enough and the ball's going to go in that region. So precision shooting, you can get away with a lower stat. Myself, I'm probably honestly going to be going with a hunter, but finisher would be a good opinion. If let's say the game comes out and let's say EA decides to do some wicked patch, never know with them, honestly, and they decide to nerf finishing into the ground where 1v1s are terrible, please don't happen. But let's just say, God forbid it happens. Make the adjustments. And that's the most important thing. You know, when I'm doing these squad builders, it's not just about using the players, it's about why I'm using the players. Why have I gone this way? Why am I using this player? Why am I using that player instead of that player? Why have I chosen that player in particular? And look, the good thing is the squad is very versatile. I can very easily, for example, go in a 4-4-2 and I'll be like, you know what, no stress. I go like this, a quick switcheroo. So we're going to do something like this. Hang on, select that one. And then, hang on. Wait, no, sorry. 4-4-2. 4-2-4 is more of an attacking formation. Whenever I make squad builders, I don't really do that. I play 4-4-2 quite a lot. But it's probably not the best. So like Clivert can go and centre mid as well, by the way. So if you want like an attacking centre mid, let's say you want to sub him on, you can do something like that as well. But you can go with something like this. Very, very easy. You can do a quick switcheroo like this. If you're looking for 4-4-1-1, this is where you have the same structure with the 4-4-1-1. And then you have Clivert, you dash him in there. Perfect. Bam. See that? Fits in perfectly. 3 backs. Let's not get into that. Now, 4-1-2-1-2, you can play it like this. And then what you do is you just choose who you want. And then you sub one of these players off for a centre mid. So if you want to start the game and you want to use a 4-1-2-1-2, go ahead and use that. Very, very simple. And then you can just switch it to any system that you want. 4-2-2 is where it gets a bit complicated because what you have to do is something like this. And then again, you're going to have to drop. Realistically, it depends who you want to drop here. But like, yeah, you can go ahead and try to find a Cam and sort of Kudus or like someone like this and then replace Pedro Neto. But again, only one player we're changing here because Foden, if I go to Footbin, now Foden would be my normal go-to card for a Cam. But A, he's so expensive. B, 79 sprint speed. But anyway, and if you want to go for a classic 4-3-3, you can do the same thing there. You can just put Clivert there. Pretty much simple. It gets quite hard getting these players in the right place in certain format. Like other teams, I have difficulty finding that Cam centre mid card. That card is very difficult. But you can see this can play every single system. And that is why I've got this. And if you want to go to the classic 4-2-3-1, this is where things are problematic. And this is why this formation, although it'll be one of the best formations inside the game, it's going to be hard to find those high-paced camps. Believe me, this is actually one of the best formations inside the game. But the problem is there's lack of player options in those cam roles, so people will be against it. You need wide players like wingers in those cam roles as opposed to like a Bruno Fernandes. You need someone that's got pace, a Kudus, a Pedro Neto that plays in a cam. But that is the squad builder for the Premier League. Do not forget, if you want to get better S26, you can come join my Patreon series. We've already started making videos. As soon as the gameplay comes out, you will see the videos here first. I'll tell you what we got in so far. We got, of course, the meta squad builders. We're going to do every single league for the meta squad builders, every main league. So we've got a cheap team we showed you today, but we're going to have, for example, an expensive team, a cheap team. We're going to have like a progressive one. So you might, for example, put here, for example, I don't know, someone like like a Gyökeres, for example, and then we'll have them progress like a Saliba. So we'll show you progressively how you can build and upgrade those teams. That way you can build one team and then slowly incrementally upgrade. We've got all the major leagues, the 5 leagues, and we might do like Liga F and some hybrids. We've got the FIFA 26 videos as well. This would be like if you want to learn about all the roles, all the tactics, the changes, things to get ready. Of course, as soon as the game comes out, you will see gameplay footage there as well. We've got timeless fundamentals. Even if you are an advanced player, there's some last year, it still applies. And we have all of last year's videos as well. We literally have all of the last year's videos, a year before, hundreds of videos. To the point where if you joined, and let's say for God knows what reason you wanted to watch all those videos, it'll probably take you about 6 months to complete, probably, I would say. So even if you wanted to watch the videos every single day, we have videos from last year that all apply. Even the Division 10 to Elite Division, you can watch this video, and I guarantee you, you can watch it, basic gameplay, use it in FC26, it'll be exactly the same. That's why we kind of prepared this for a few years. So we kept this like everlasting. Of course, with the FC26 and roles, all the new ones explained. And of course, all of last year's videos as well with the roles as well. And of course, the game tutorials. The FC School is also going to be starting. We got an FC25 School, but we're going to be remaking this for FC26. But we'll have all the FC25 School. Some of the videos that we wrote, like for example, like here, the camera settings, the game setting. This will be all when a game comes out. And you can see like here, some of these videos, create a network. I can't release them. Well, they can't be released until the embargo. So all that stuff is there. And of course, the rest of the videos. Link will be down below in the description, patreon.com/Negos. Don't forget, if you join now, 13th September, you have 1 month. That'll take you 13th of October. This is the perfect time to join to get ahead of the game. And remember, if you don't get back after 1 month, we will refund your money. What do you lose? Absolutely nothing. 30 days you don't improve, we find your money. But you will improve. That's a no guys guarantee. We program in such a way that you will get better and you will see how fast you will skip ahead. Thanks for watching. Links down below in the description. Take it easy. Don't forget to subscribe to our main YouTube channel and I'll see you soon.